Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your first time watching my videos. My name is Ty. Welcome to my channel. If you guys have ever watched me before, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about something different. I'm not going to be talking about luxury as usual. You guys know that I always talk about luxury and purchases and all of the good stuff in life. But this time I'm going to be talking about something different. And I'm going to share with you guys my point of view as a therapist and also as my personal story and everything that I could share with you maybe to help, because I get a lot of questions like this on Instagram, and I just figured that I would make a video to help you guys, because I'm constantly answering the same thing over and over and over. So I just thought it would be better if I just put everything here. Okay, let's talk about relationship today. And when I talk about relationship, it's not going to be only about marriage. We're going to talk about relationship in general, like relationship with your family, with your kids, with your siblings, with neighbors, with friends, with like everyone. But I'm gonna start with marriage. I know that what I'm gonna say here is probably gonna apply to everything else. But the first thing you guys have to know about marriage is when you are in a marriage, you have to understand that you love that person unconditionally. What does that mean? When you love someone unconditionally, you don't put conditions on that. You don't force someone to do something in return for you. That's the main thing, because I see that most people get in a relationship and they expect something in return. Let's say, oh, you have to make me happy. Like it's your obligation to make me happy. Most people get in a relationship thinking the other person has to make them happy. And that's not how it works. It's the other way around, because you have to make yourself happy in the first place. It's all about you, okay? The secret of our relationship is about you. You always put yourself in the first place. Do you guys know when you go in an airplane and the flight attendant always says, the mask is gonna fall, and you put your mask first and before you help somebody else? That's how relationship is, okay? You take care of yourself first. You put that mask on you first, and then you can have somebody else. You can go with somebody else. And that's the main reason why most relationships fail, because people expect the other person to make them happy. But it's the other way. As I said, you guys have to be happy. You guys have to fulfill yourself. It's always you first, you in the first place, and the other person is just gonna compliment you. The other person is just gonna have a partnership with you, because marriage is a partnership. It's not ownership, okay? I don't own my husband. He doesn't own me. We don't have this ownership relation. We don't have this ownership type of relation. We have partnership. We are partners. We are together. Okay, I fulfill myself. He fulfills himself, and we get together. I'm happy. He's happy, and that's how we are happy together, because I'm happy. I bring this happiness from home, from me, and he brings his own happiness as well. And then we get together. He's not expecting me to make him happy, and I'm not expecting him to fulfill a hole with something, my childhood traumas or something that I need to work on myself. I can't blame that on my husband and ask him to be responsible for my failures or for something that happened years and years ago, and it's all on me. So that's the main secret. You have to work on yourself. I know not lots of us, but I believe all of us have some type of childhood trauma or some event that happened in the past, like years and years ago, that we don't even remember, but our unconscious mind or subconscious mind, they always remember. And that's probably why, we act in certain ways that we do. But you are not responsible for those childhood traumas, but you are responsible to change them when you're adult. And that's how things should be. You have to work on that. You can't expect the other person to work on that for you. They can't do any miracle for you. You have to be responsible for yourself. You look at yourself. I know it's painful, it hurts, because I've been through myself a lot of stuff that I still work. I'm not ashamed to say I do therapy every single week. And the more I do, the more stuff comes out, and the more I have to work, and I work and keep working and working and working. And it's not a process that's going to be gone. You guys have to do that like in a constant way and in a good way, that you have to have the courage to look at yourself and look at inside yourself. You can't just blame on the other person and expect the other person to fix the problem with you, the problem for you. So that's the main thing. Of course, I cannot generalize. I can't go and point, because every situation is different in relationships, especially in marriage. But what I see from my experience and for what I see around people going on is that the main thing why people get divorced, because people expect the other person to fulfill the holes they have inside, and they can't do that. They can't do that. You have to do that yourself. You have to be good with yourself, and the other person is going to attract to you, and then you're going to have a great partnership together. That's how things work. You have to be happy, the other person's going to be happy, and then you get together, and then you have a partnership, and then you have a family, and then you raise your family in a good way, showing them all the happiness and teaching them different values and stuff that you didn't get when you were a child. So everything can change, okay? And we are here to get better with ourselves, and we are here to teach our children and the next generation to be better than what we got in the past. So that's the first thing, for relationship is unconditional love. You have to love people without putting conditions. You can't put conditions. What I tell my husband is, I love you so much. My love for you is unconditional, and you are free. You are free. You were with me because you chose to be with me. I don't own you. I can't make him to be with me. You guys just have to understand that you cannot make a person to be with you. You can't force that whole situation, because it's a lot of issues. I can't talk about this now because I'm gonna be hours and hours talking about that. I'm just gonna go through like relationship, go back to my point of this video. And I understand, like, if he chooses to be in someplace else, or if he wants to do a different life, I totally understand. That's why we have a partnership together. I don't own him. I can't grab him and make him to stay with me. I'm not dependent on him. And if he leaves, I'm in a good place with myself, that I'm okay. I can survive, and I'm gonna get over this and believe that better things will happen in the future. But people get so attached to this. Oh no, you have to be with me. I'm gonna make you stay with me. So you can't make people stay with you. And people get all of the insecurities and jealous. So those things are not gonna make person to be with you. You can't grab them and force them to be with you. That's something that you have to work on yourself. All the insecurities that you have, all the issues and the traumas have to work on you, and not blame on the other person. Okay, and another reason why people get in a lot of fights and problems is because they tend to blame the other person for their problems. Like they don't see the whole picture. They can't look at themselves. Like the ego is so high that they start looking at the other person and blaming them. Oh, but you did that to me. It's not fair. You did that to me. So they put themselves in a victim place. They act like the victim all the time, and it's also draining, guys. You have to understand that you have to look at yourself, okay? And if you are upset with the other person because they did this, they did that, it's another reason that I'm gonna explain now. It's a main reason, okay? Everything in life it depends on how we react. The 100% of your happiness depends on how you react. We're gonna get ourselves in a lot of situations with anything. Could be in traffic, could be around, you wake up And a lot of things can happen at the same time, but it just depends on how you react. If you choose to react in a bad way, of course your life's gonna be miserable. Of course your whole day is gonna be bad. You're gonna have the worst day. You're gonna get headaches. You're gonna be in a bad mood. You're gonna get in a car accident. Something's gonna happen because you're reacting. And then when you react, you just put a dark cloud around cloud. Oh my gosh. You put a dark cloud around you, and then this dark cloud is just gonna follow you this whole time when you're thinking all your thoughts, and you're just gonna attract more and more bad things to happen. I see people, oh my gosh, all of these things happen to me, everything happens to me, and then but what's going through their minds. It's just negativity and judgment and all kinds of stuff that comes through the mind all the time, and that's why they only attract those things that happen. They don't understand, wow, but I just got a parking ticket, oh, I just got something, something bad happened, because you were just attracting this whole thing through your thoughts, because you're so negative, you're so intense in your thoughts that you're only gonna attract that, and that's why I'm saying this is the main special thing in your life. Everything depends on how you react. Okay, everything is in relationship, and everything else in your life just depends on how you react. If you choose to react in a bad way, you're definitely gonna get bad things in return. But if you choose to not react, good things are gonna happen, because you see that something happened here. But you see that when you are in a good spot with yourself, you start not reacting through things. Okay, let me give you an example. I've been married for 9 years. It's going to be 9 years this year. I've been together with my husband for 11 years. The beginning, it was hard because, we got to know each other, and everything that he did would piss me off. I would get upset. We would get in a fight. And guess what? It was all my reaction, because that's how he is. He still does the same things that he used to do years ago when we first met. And he's not going to change. That's how he is. I can't change him. That's his personality. That's how he likes to do things, and I can't change him. And I used to react on those things back in the day, and we get in a fight, so we get upset, and we start blaming him. How you did that? And I would put myself in a victim place, until I realize, why am I doing this? Why am I reacting for this? I see him doing the same exact thing these days, and I just don't react. I choose not to, because if I choose to react, we're gonna get in a fight. I'm gonna have a miserable day. We're gonna have a bad day. We're gonna bring this whole issues over here that's totally unnecessary. I just let things go. I just take a breath and just let things go. I just choose not react. I just choose to be good with myself and take a deep breath and step back. That's something that you learn, especially through meditations and retreats, yoga, or therapy. Those things that you learn, like to put yourself, you see yourself in a situation, but you take a step back and you just observe. You just look from the outside. You don't react, because if you're still in that bad situation, you're gonna start reacting, and everything's gonna be bad. It's just gonna bring more and more problems to you, instead of when you are in a good place with yourself. You just step back, and then you just look from far distance, and all you do is take a breath, take a moment, take a breath. Everything's falling apart. Just step back, do not react. Take a breath, take a moment to look all that's happening, all those things that you could possibly bring to you, and think, is it worth it? If I go back in that situation over there, is it worth it? All the fight and drama and this horrible situation, all the negativity, and is it really worth it to step in there? I don't think so. I would just go back and take a breath and observe and just look. Okay, but Ty, are you telling me that let's say if my husband is cheating on me and you think that's okay, guys, what I have to tell about you about this situation is the same thing about the unconditional love. People are free to do what they want. Of course, it's not fair for someone to go out there and cheat. Okay, this is not fair and this is not right. I don't agree with that. However, if it gets to that point, it's because something's been happening for a while and you're just covering your eyes and pretending nothing's happening. And you probably have all the signs. Okay, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and your partner's probably showing you how unhappy they are, or giving you all the signs, but you just choose to be blind. You just choose to ignore and not look at the situation with your face there, and not really go through that situation. And as I said, it's not fair to get at this point, but you had all the signs. And if that happened to you, I know it's horrible. I've been through a situation like that in the past. It's horrible, it's awful. But what I learned from that situation that happened to me, I'm gonna tell you my story a little quick. I was young. I was probably 23, 24, 25, I can't remember. I was gonna get married. I had this boyfriend for years and we were planning a wedding, and I found out that he was having an affair just like a couple months before we got married. And I found it out, but my whole world just fell apart. It was awful for me to go through this whole situation. But what I learned from that situation was I have to love myself. I was just loving that guy too much. I was putting my whole life in his hands. I was so dependent and relying on him to love me that was actually good that happened, because I learned how to get back and look at myself and love myself and not wait for someone to do that for me. Because I was just so obsessed and putting my whole love, my whole life in that guy's hands. And I'm so thankful for that to happen, because I started looking things in a different way. And I'm here where I am today because that happened. Otherwise, I would be in that miserable situation with him for years and years and years, and I would never know, or just pretend to not know what was going on. And I would never find my true happiness, which I found these days. And I'm very thankful, very, very thankful for that situation. And I learned my lesson. Okay, you guys also have to understand that every hard situation that we go through in our lives is to teach us a lesson. You have to look, you have to stop and think, what lesson do you have to learn? Okay, that moment when I got out of that relationship, the first thing I thought was, of course, after this whole crying and my whole world fell apart, but after I start thinking to myself again, I just thought, I have to be out of here. I have to get out of here. I have to get out of this country. I don't want to be here. I was just here because of him. I put my whole life in this guy's hand. It didn't work. So what I'm going to do? I don't want to be here. I'm not meant to be here. I always want to live outside Brazil. I always want to live someplace else. Never worked for me. And I just decided to move. I lived in different countries before that. And I only came back because of him. And I just thought it's my chance to get out and do what I want, because I was going to be blocked to do the things I wanted to stay with this person. So when that door opened, I just ran away. I said, I'm going to go far away and leave my life. And it was definitely the best thing that happened to me. Not the best because I went through a lot. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys, I have a video for you. It's not edited yet. It's a long video. It's probably like 45, 50 minutes, a long video telling about my story, but it's gonna come up soon on the right time. And I tell you more details about this whole situation and like everything I went through here when I moved to the US. And okay, going back to my point was I learned my lesson. I finally got to do what I want to do. And that's what you guys have to see. Every hard situation brings you a lesson. Look at the lesson that you have to learn. What is the lesson that's bringing to you? Think about it. I know it's hard when you're going through the pain, but get yourself out of the victim place and look all the strengths and all the good side that you can get from that situation. Okay, even if it's a cheating, it's gonna be a horrible situation. Yeah, but what if someone dies? Yeah, you can also learn a lesson from that situation. Why did that happen? You know, so everything happens for a reason. Everything comes to our life for a reason. Everyone, every single person that comes to our lives comes for a reason. Okay, nothing happens by accident. Everything is it's all about the lessons you learn. You learn when someone comes to your life. We learn when someone leaves your life. We learn every situation when you look through with your children, with your family, with your siblings, with your neighbors, you know, the hater neighbor that you have with something. Everything is a lesson that you have to learn. And what I have to tell you too is that when you have the same situation repeating in your life, let's say you're just in that loop, you know, it's same things happening over and over and over and over and over again, and with different people, with different times and different situations, but it's the same. It's just the same pattern going over again. So because you're not learning your lesson, you didn't learn the lesson that you're supposed to, and that situation is going to repeat until you look at yourself and learn that situation and get the best out of it and be grateful for that, because it's not only about learning, but you also have to be very grateful for the bad situations, the things that happen in your life. Okay, and that's how you get better with yourself, and then you can move to the next step. You can move forward, and you can find the true happiness and all the things that you've been looking for. And you can't expect, as I said, the first thing that I said, you cannot expect that the other person is going to be your whole world. You can't put your hands, your whole life in somebody else's hands. You have to do that for yourself. It's all you, okay? Just fulfill yourself. But how do I do that? That's a lot of ways that you learn how to put yourself in the first place and start loving yourself. I always recommend that book. You guys know, I have it somewhere over here. You Can Heal Your Life. That book I always recommend in my Instagram. I posted that a million times because I answer questions like this every day, and people, if you really work on that book, it's a hard work. It's intense because you have to look at yourself and talk to yourself. That's what people run away the most. But if you look at that book, it's so intense. But if you dedicate yourself and really read that book and take time to work, because there's a lot of exercises you do, if you really look at that book, this is really gonna change your life. It's gonna make you a different person. I always recommend that book. Okay, but if you're not a reading person, if you don't have time like me, I don't really have time to read, but I do a lot of other stuff. I do meditation. I love meditation, guys. I do every single day, every single night. Before I go to sleep, I just put myself to sleep through my meditations. And that's the time when I'm doing myself, how do I say it? Like a therapy session. I go deep in myself. I look at everything on me, everything that I have to work on. And when it's something that pops, I just call my therapist. So can we book a session for tomorrow? I had this thing just popped and we can work on that. Sure. No, that's how things work, or with me. Or yoga is also really good. Yoga is also really good for you to get connected to yourself. You just, you practice, because you're going to do a lot of poses. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a lot of things in yoga that's going to connect you with yourself, with your inner self. And that's also a good way for you to connect with yourself. But I think mostly therapy. Okay, don't be ashamed of that, because that's your mental health. It's really important. You going through, because most people get embarrassed, like, oh, I do therapy. I'm not embarrassed at all. I do therapy. I'm starting to be a therapist. I'm gonna be a therapist, but I have to help myself first before I help other people. And that's why I'm so intense working on me, because I want to get in a place that I'm comfortable with my own situation, that I can help other people. I mean, I could now, I'm trying to, but I want to get in a really good place with myself, because there's a lot of stuff. And the more you work, as I said, the more you work, more things come out. And it's a lot of work, it's a lot of job. So you don't think that you're gonna do one session and everything's gonna be good in your life, because it's not gonna happen. It's definitely not gonna the way. It's a work, it's a commitment, and you have to go through this whole process. It's a long process. And what else? Yoga, therapy, meditation, go through, connect with the nature. I love connect with the nature. Like, I love going for hikes or walks. I like to sit in the grass outside and just connect and get some sun. Just myself and connect. This is really important for you to just sit down and just connect, have a connection with the nature, because a lot of things can also come out if you just clear your mind and focus just on that. A lot of things can come good for you. And what else? I think I would say that's it. But if there's anything else, I'll definitely post on my Instagram. If you guys follow me, I'm always posting positivity and things that can help. But I'll keep posting more and more if I find something else. But I hope that you guys are learning this. The first thing is unconditional love. Okay, practicing conditional love. You can't expect anything in return from your children. Most parents are expecting the children to make them so proud, because my kids are doing this or doing that. I just think that, of course, I want the best for my kids, but I want them to be what they want to be. I want them to be happy, and if they're happy with what they're doing, that's what I get in return. I can't force them to make me happy in the way that I want. I open the doors for them. I expose them to things, and they're gonna show me they're happy doing something, and I can't force them to do what I want them to do. They have to follow the patterns and the dreams of what they like to do. And if they're happy with what they're doing, I'm gonna be happy. That's what I expect in return. I'm gonna be happy. And it's the same thing with your other relationship with your friends. You can't expect your friends to do things for you to make you happy. You have to be happy with yourself. You guys just have to understand that happiness comes from you, comes from home, and home is you. Everything comes from the inside, and that's what you bring to people, and that's what you attract. When you're in a good place, you're gonna attract people who are on the same level as you. Because as I said, I don't know if you guys watch my other videos, but everything is energy. It's all that you're putting out there. Everything is just energy. If you put a good energy, and if you put like you're happy and all the good things and positivity, you're gonna attract people like that. And all the negativity, all the jealous, and all the those unnecessary people, they're gonna go away. It's like a magic. They're just gonna go away. They're just gonna disappear from your life, and your life is just gonna get in a level that you're gonna be in the right place with the right people, and all those people holding you back, they're just gonna disappear from you. But it's all about the energy and everything that you put out there. And it's also applies to neighbors, family as well, because sometimes we have to stay away from the families. I understand a lot of people have done that, stay away from the families, because some families are toxic, and they just get in that cloud, in that black cloud, and once they get out, they start living their lives in the way they want it, and they make through, and they are happy, they're attracting a lot of things that they want to. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's all about freedom and your choice. You're free. You can do anything that makes you happy. Okay, and it's the same thing when we talk about marriage. As I said, it's not ownership, it's a partnership. We are partners. We do things together. A lot of people ask me, because I travel a lot without my husband. and I take my kids with me, and a lot of people start judging me because I'm doing that, and I just go without my husband. And when people say that, my answer is, he doesn't owe me. And he's happy. He's actually happy because I'm happy. I'm doing something I like. It's my dream to see the world. I want to take my kids to see the world. It's my dream. And he's happy that I'm doing that and I'm following my dreams. However, it's not his dream. His dream is be at work and work hard and be in his office all day long. And I respect that the same way he respects my dreams. And we are in this partnership, and in the same way I'm supporting him to do what he likes to do, he supports me to do what I like to do. If that's what's gonna make me happy and he's gonna see me happy, he's gonna be happy too. And in this way I'm fulfilling myself and I'm bringing all the happiness to him. In the same way that he's working, that's the way he find happiness in his life, and that's totally okay, even though sometimes he's not around, and it's fine. It's totally fine. I totally support him. He's happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. He's happy. That's how things should be, and not like you have to make me happy or don't expect me to make you happy. Okay. And another thing that I said is just don't forget, don't react, guys. Reaction is the main thing, the main thing for everything. It's just about the reaction. It's just about how you react towards things. You choose to be happy or you choose to be miserable, but it's your choice. It just depends on how you react. If you want to react in a bad way, you're gonna be miserable. But if you choose to not react and be happy, you got it. As I said, step back and observe the situation. Look from the outside. When you go in a retreat, you just learn this kind of stuff. You just look the situation from the outside, and then you step back. When you step back in the situation, you just don't react. It's like, why am I going to react? Why am I going to make my whole life miserable right now, reacting to such a small thing and blow everything that I have just because of that situation? Okay, this is the main thing. Just think of that. Everything just depends on how you react. Everything is just the reaction. Okay, so I hope this video helped. I could be talking, I know I have a lot more, but those are topics that go really intense. I don't know if I want to do that, especially because I know a lot of people want to understand. You have to be ready to listen to a lot of things, and I could be going on and on and on and on and on, but those are the things that I can bring to you today. I hope it helps, and leave your comments here. If you have any questions, always find me on Instagram. I'm always there answering what people have to say, and thanks for watching my video. I'll see you next time.